when you're looking at this pile, what jumps out is that of all the odds and end pieces, you got about an 8-inch piece, you got another little piece, you got corner pieces, you got one that's about 1.5 feet long, another one about 2 feet long. And it was all just hodgepodge together. It was like scraps all put together, trying to form a waterproofing system. Everything about this for this type of foundation is just wrong. And the problem with it being a 1/5 system is that they charge you more than 5/5 for it. And this is just what you don't want to see after you've spent really good money trying to get your basement dry, having to tear it out and have it all piled up in your basement, ready to be carted off and thrown into a dumpster. So now we're going to put a real drainage system in. We're going to put American Dry Basement Systems drainage system in. Wait till you see the stark contrast from a pile of junk that's going to go into the dumpster to a real full-fledged customized system that's going to fit this particular type of foundation to the inch. Everything is going to be designed exactly. It's going to fit exactly. It's going to be the right amount of drainage. It's going to have the proper pitch. It's going to go over to a properly set up pump station. And when we're done, you're going to think, well, I'll tell you what, that basement's never going to leak again. Okay, we've taken the gutter system out. It's been entirely removed. And we've set it up to be able to install our super dry system. So now the footing is exposed and we have a trench next to the footing, and it's creating a very large area for our drainage. Now the difference is that their drainage sat right here. If you notice, they painted the walls down to where the floor was, and then you can see there's no paint there. That's because the floor was up there. Their drainage sat right here within that white area of the concrete wall. That was all the drainage. So in other words, if any water was going to get in it, this whole area had to be completely flooded with water up and around the entire floor. So now what we've done is we've completely cleaned this area out. We have the footing exposed, and we have a trench where we're going to be putting our pipe and stone, and this is going around the entire foundation. But you're going to notice that the footing's been chipped away and damaged consistently throughout the entire area where that gutter was installed. Not sure why. If we were to do this and there wasn't a gutter system being removed, we would have removed part of the floor, and then we would have left a piece of the floor intact, and then we would have removed part of the floor and then left a piece of the floor intact. So this whole floor would have consistently, space by space, be over and sit on this footing, and that footing would have remained supporting the entire floor. Our drainage then would have been installed underneath where we leave those pieces of floor intact. They're called engineering spacers or engineering tabs. And that keeps the structural integrity intact. In other words, you have your footing down here, the wall sits on the footing, and the floor was poured so it goes over, sits on the ledge of the footing, and then up against the wall. And they support each other. When you go to a gutter system, you can tell all of that structural integrity and support has been broken apart. You've eliminated or reduced the amount of structural integrity you have to your foundation with that type of system. Now, we have some proprietary products, and we use a much stronger concrete, and our concrete actually grows into old concrete. So it goes to a great extent of actually giving some of that structural support back to the floor. Okay, so when we're done, it's going to be in a lot stronger condition than it was when the gutter system was in here, and the floor is going to be back to the full thickness, a full code compliant thickness of a minimum of 3.5 inches. And you'll see as we go there's going to be pipe, stone, and then we have what we call flow channel, which is a drain board which will go down the wall and across the footing so that any water coming in underneath the wall will be able to travel through that channel and get right into the pipe and stone, which is pitched around to a heavy-duty commercial pump. We're going to take a walk around here now, and then one of the distinct things you're going to see is that the footing is kind of chipped away, and then where the system stopped, in other words, where they didn't install the gutter, you're going to see a nice, clean, sharp footing the way it was before they tried to install the gutter along here. So as we work our way around here, you're going to see the gutter's been chipped away. It's been chipped away, moving towards where the sump station was. And then the system stopped right here. And then we get back to a normal footing, which goes right down, straight across, was formed out with a nice edge. There was no gutter system installed here, so you just have a straight footing that wasn't damaged by the installation of that other drainage system. The drain grate that was here before was about 1.5 inches wide. This is about 2.5 times as the width of that, and its overall size is, all in all, is about 4 times as big. That system was matching up to the drainage on either side, and it was cockeyed. They weren't aligned or anything like that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have our drain just like this, but we're going to have our full drainage system running down underneath it, and there's going to be holes in this, so any water coming in anywhere along this whole area, or any water that would come from above, would be able to get into here, get right down into the system, and that would go over to the sump pump. An entirely different setup, the proper way to set a drain up like this. Okay, so our sump station is going to go in this corner. So we're going to go in here, and from the far back corner is the high spot. It's still way below the bottom of the floor. Pipe and stone, as you can see, is set up coming around, and it's going to be going into the basket here. And you can see where the holes are in the side of the basket, which holds the pipe itself. This is going to be surrounded by stone and be its own collection area. And then, as you can see, we're re-cementing this floor right back up so that it's level with the main body of the floor, and then with our discharge line coming up, out, and going out away from the house. Well, we're all finished here in Hamden, Connecticut, and we've gotten the people the exact system that they needed the first time around for their particular type of foundation. This place is going to be bone dry, and the people are thrilled. Now, as always, if you give me a like on the video and subscribe, that would be great. And also, if you have any questions at all, throw them in, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And I'd like to thank you for watching.